Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. Not a busy weekend this one, only a few series were on offer and it was meagre pickings from even then. Of course, we had the Formula 1 and the Mexican Grand Prix, which I've already discussed in this video. And we also had the Motorsport games. That was the bulk of the racing. It was decent. A lot of the grids were too small and some of the coverage was dodgy, if I'm being fair, and almost unwatchable if I'm not. But it was good, and it was free on YouTube, so you should check it out. As for this video, we will be looking at the Supercars from Surfers Paradise, Brazilian Stock Car Pro from Alpina in Uruguay, NASCAR from Homestead Miami, and the final round of Formula Regional Europe from Monza. So with all that incredibly huge amount of motorsport to cover, make sure you subscribe and let's jump into the video.
Hopping over to Australia, the Bathurst 1000 was a bit of a bore. So can Supercars redeem itself with two races from Surfers Paradise? Sadly, I think the Chaz Mostert train has lost steam, and we are heading to a Will Brown title win. He has a race points advantage over his teammate Brock Feeney, and will bring himself closer to title glory by taking a win in one of the Gold Coast 500 races. The other will go to Cam Waters. Currently fourth in the championship, he could have a late season push for second, which would be the third time he's finished runner-up in the championship. I just hope the racing at Surfers Paradise is a lot better than the racing at the Bathurst 1000.
The Supercars had their penultimate weekend of the Gold Coast 500 at the tight streets of Surfers Paradise, the most Australian name for anything ever. Will Brown has started to pull away from the chasing pack, but could he get one step closer to securing the championship here? Well, he took a knock in qualifying, so the weekend had not started well for Mr. Brown. He also struggled to make progress through the race, and was outside the top 5. So maybe not all was lost for Brock Feeney, Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters to mount a late title challenge. Cam Waters led for the majority of race 1, whilst Thomas Randall and Chaz Mostert managed to get past Brock Feeney. Cameron Hill had a moment, but amazingly, no safety cars in this race. It was all very clean. Chaz Mostert had a gearbox sensor issue that cost him time at every pit stop, and he had to make that back up both times, dropping to 12th after his second stop. That was the only real excitement of the race. Cam Waters took his 4th win of the year. As I said, he would. Now could Will Brown win race 2? Apparently all the chaos was being saved for this race, because there was a 7-car pile-up on lap 1. This is the usual Surfers Paradise mess. The rest of the race was pretty straightforward. The pit stops looked like they were going to make things exciting, but they really didn't. Chaz Mostert's slim title hopes ended when they didn't get enough fuel in the car at his second stop, and he had to come in again. A very unfortunate weekend for Mostert, but he has had a really good year, and hopefully we can see a sustained title challenge from the likes of him, Cam Waters and Brody Kostecki in 2025. It was Brody who took the win. His 2024 has improved a lot, just a bit too late. The title fight at Adelaide is now strictly between the two 888 cars, and even then Feeney only has a slim chance of winning. It has been a very flat year for Supercars.
Now heading back to the Americas and Brazilian Stock Car Pro from Alpina in Uruguay, the second and last away day for Brazilian stock cars in 2024. 6 races left and Felipe Massa has a slim lead in the championship, but about half the field are still in with a chance of winning the title, and almost all the field can still mathematically win. Picking 2 winners is incredibly tough, as you can always close your eyes and pick at random. Let's say Dudu Barrichello and Rafael Suzuki both have been near the top of the championship this year, both have had some bad luck, and both could potentially still win the championship a week before Christmas when this series comes to an end.
Brazilian Stock Car Pro was making some history with their first ever appearance at the Alpina track in Uruguay. Felipe Massa was championship leader coming in, but he got turned around on lap 1 by Thiago Camilo. Not much else happened in this race, and Enzo Elias took the win after a superb move to take the lead. Both races were on Saturday. Felipe Massa and Felipe Baptista were now tied on points going into the second race. Cesar Ramos would lose his bonnet in race 2 and get tangled with Caca Bueno and Ricardo Maurizio to bring out a first safety car of the weekend. A few drivers could have won this race. Felipe Fraga led most of it, but he was lucky Dudu Barrichello had a bad pit stop. Felipe Massa dropped a couple of places after overshooting the hairpin and made contact with title rival Felipe Baptista, turning the championship on its head. Gaetano De Moro broke down with only a couple of minutes left, and Felipe Fraga took an easy win by some distance. 2 rounds left to go in 2024. This series doesn't finish until a week before Christmas. Felipe Massa still leads the championship, but pretty much anyone can still win the damn thing.
NASCAR from Miami next, and we only have a few races left in the NASCAR calendar. Can one of the playoff winners take the win here? I think so. I'm going to go for Denny Hamlin to take the win, becoming the first four-time winner of this race, and booking a place in the Final Four. It is going to be another tough one for Kyle Larson, putting him in a bit of jeopardy as we get near to losing 4 more drivers a week later. I expect this to be another tough one for the majority of playoff contenders. No more than 4 will be in the top 10.
NASCAR from Homestead in Miami, Straight Talk Wireless 400, one of the worst names for a race I've ever heard. This was a feisty one, and like I suggested, Kyle Larson hit trouble in stage 1 with a puncture and a wall hit. He did work his way back up to second, but then spun with 12 to go. Denny Hamlin was leading with 2 to go, but Tyler Reddick swept past him and Ryan Blaney to win and make it to Phoenix. Only Kyle Larson and Joey Logano finished outside the top 10 out of the playoff runners. I don't even know why Logano bothered turning up. He could have gone on a holiday for a couple of weeks. This was dull. Only 2 weeks left of NASCAR, and next weekend we find out who the final 2 drivers to make it to the championship 4 will be.
Finally, we have Formula Regional Europe. Rafael Camara won the championship before we got to Monza, so he ends his time in this series with 2 final races in Italy. I don't think he'll take a win this weekend, nor will Tuukka Tarpinen, whose championship has kind of fallen apart in the last few rounds. The talented Danish youngster Noah Stromstead will take his first win of the year, as will McLaren Jr. and constant disappointment Ugo Ugachukwu. Ugachukwu will be in Formula 3 next year, and he really needs to prove he belongs, because I cannot remember the last time I saw a good performance from him. Outside of a few okay Formula Regional appearances, he's been pretty bad. Primo will do well in Formula 3, but can Ugachukwu keep that trend up, or is he the next Dino Bogdanovic?
Finally, we have Formula Regional Europe, and from a Monza track that always seems to be a bit damp recently, wet enough the race would start behind the safety car with Ugo Ugachukwu in first place. It was nice to see the McLaren Jr. doing what he should have been doing all season. He pulled away at the start, made a gap and controlled the race. We got a late safety car for Nicola Lacorte, who span all on his own. That meant we finished the race with a 1-lap sprint, and what had been a surprisingly chaos-free Formula Regional Europe race turned to absolute carnage. 4 cars in the gravel, and a couple more later in the lap. We were so close to a contact-free Freca race. Didn't stop Ugo Ugachukwu taking his first win, leading home a Prema 1-2-3. Who would have predicted that? Unfortunately, the final race of the year started with a massive shunt for Romain Androlio, and a long safety car. Just as the race was restarting, something happened to Brando Badoa, and there was contact at the front as well, so another safety car. This final race was a bit of an anticlimax. Tuukka Tarpinen ended his race at this point. It was a truly terrible end to the season for the Finn, and the season finished with a couple more incidents, a car bursting into flames, and a red flag. Ricky Liu and Biren Bakti, along with Edgar Pierre, would finish the season off for good. Rafael Camara wins. It wasn't a great end to the year. So that was all the racing from the previous weekend. It wasn't a lot, was it? My race of the weekend from this meagre lot is probably the first Formula Regional Europe race, or maybe Formula 1, which is a rarity. Let me know your race of the weekend down in the comments, and don't worry, I know it's a hard choice. Next weekend we have even more Formula 1 from the Brazilian Grand Prix, but we also have the final round of the World Endurance Championship from Bahrain, which I guarantee will be a cracker, the penultimate round of Super GT from Motegi, the penultimate round of NASCAR for 2024 from Martinsville, and Formula Regional America, which is already done, has a very small field, and is rarely very interesting to watch, but it is on if you want to watch it. The weekends are definitely getting quieter, so make sure you subscribe for more weekly roundups and predictions, because there's probably only one more in me for 2024. But plenty more motorsport content is coming. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.